Welcome to the Crypto Campfire. They're naturally and artificially flavored, Mitch and the Professor, featuring special guest Jay Sweeps.
All right, guys, we got another episode of the Crypto Campfire podcast for you today. This is the Professor.
And Mitch.
We've got Jay Sweeps or CoinStories on with us today. Before we get started talking to Jay, we'll go ahead and send it over to the Crypto Gent for some crypto news.
Thanks, Professor. Hello, Crypto Campfire listeners, and welcome to the cryptocurrency news in a flash with the Crypto Gent. Circle CEO says that cryptocurrency needs regularity in order to succeed. SEC shuts down Ponzi scheme which duped 300 people out of a total of $30 million. Copyright registrations do not recognize Craig Wright as Satoshi Nakamoto. South Korean government to further study blockchain in an attempt to help harness the technology for widespread institutional adoption. That's been the cryptocurrency news in a flash. Back to you, Professor. It's been a quick one.
Thanks, Crypto Gent. All right, Jay, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit? Let us know what you're doing in the crypto space and kind of what your interests are.
Right on, guys. What's up? My name's Jay Sweeps. I've been running a YouTube show called CoinStories for the last 2 years now. It's started primarily as a crypto channel, and it's kind of turned into a straight up just like hustle channel, because what crypto did for me was it gave me a lot of time. And when you have a lot of time, you start to develop other hobbies, and all of my hobbies are hustles essentially. So, it was a lot of crypto reviews, and then it turned into a lot of just how to make money and really focus on kind of enjoying your own time without having to work a 9 to 5 and trade your time for money, because that is the worst thing in the whole world to me.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I know you're doing like the reselling stuff, and
exactly.
I lived that for, 4 years.
Okay.
I paid for my college doing that. And
Dang.
Buying and selling anything I can and fixing lawnmowers or motorcycles or, I understand the hustle for sure. So it's so cool to have a different kind of outlet,
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. And to be honest, the timing of the last bull run was just such a blessing that it allowed me to just have time. That was the greatest gift that last crypto run gave me. And the crippling demise of all the profits over that same period of time that happened so fast was one of the most valuable learning lessons that I could have possibly had, because we're so early in crypto. To go up that crazy roller coaster and back down the way that I fully experienced, it gave me so much knowledge that now my crypto videos are a little bit more direct and a lot less fluff, and I think people are going to appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. So, yeah, it's really cool to have you on the show today, Jay. And I was looking into, some of the things that you're into today, and I really enjoy the fishing part. And I wanted to ask you about your fishing, your fishing adventures that you've been on, if there's any that really jump out at you.
Oh, man, I literally went fishing yesterday. I went out on a full day on the Liberty Sport fishing boat in San Diego, and that's another thing that crypto has really blessed me with, is time to go fishing a lot. And yesterday I caught 3 15-pound yellowtails, 3 individual 15-pound yellowtails, and that was my personal best. So now my girlfriend also caught that many. I've got 60 pounds of yellowtail in my freezer right now.
Oh my God.
So,
Nice. You're set.
yeah, we cleaned those fish for about 6 hours yesterday to break them down. So we've got some sashimi and just a lot of great stuff coming up this, however long it takes to eat 60 pounds of fish.
It's a lot of work you got to put in, but it's damn worth the effort.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. It was a blast.
That's great. That's awesome. I've never been like, deep sea fishing. I've never been fishing. Actually, I've never been fishing in the ocean. So that would definitely be an experience,
If you guys ever make it down to San Diego, I'll absolutely go out with you. There's nothing but just amazing fishing out here, and it's so much fun. So if you come out, I have other crypto people who are coming out to just do fishing trips with me.
Nice. Well, Mitch, it sounds like we've got another stop to add to the road trip.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely another stop to add. Yeah, a road trip to California, man, that would be awesome. That would be so off the hook. I could really get into, doing some deep water fishing, and part of this whole crypto experience for me is being able to actually meet, people face to face. That's been one thing that I've kind of really enjoyed, because it's one thing to build a relationship on, letters and type on a screen. You pick up the person's personality, but you don't really get the vibe that you get face to face. So that would definitely be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. In San Diego, there's so much cool shit in San Diego.
Yeah. And the weather is seriously always good. I mean, it's kind of windy outside, but that's as bad as it gets out here.
Right? It doesn't even get that hot. Like my grandparents live in Mojave. And so, we go down and visit once in a while. And I mean, it's not the worst place in the Southwest.
Sure.
But it's pretty damn dry and pretty damn hot. And I remember as a child rollerblading out there, and the brakes of my rollerblades digging into the asphalt and the concrete one day because it was so hot. So,
oh man, that's insane.
It was fun.
That's pretty hot. Pretty hot.
SoCal out here is truly a beautiful thing. I've lived in San Diego 2 different times in my life. This is the second time now. Once in my early 20s and now in my mid 30s. And I can tell you that it's a lot more fun in your 20s, but it's still pretty awesome right now.
Nice. That's awesome. We're going to have to go.
Yeah. What is it that you guys are doing? A road trip, kind of just meeting other crypto people, or what's the agenda for that?
Yeah. So it just kind of sort of spawned. Like we were on Twitter, and Mitch was like, yeah, we're going to come and pick you up, and then we're going to go on a road trip to whoever it was he was talking to. And then he just kind of ran with it. And now I guess there's a road trip happening. So why the hell not?
Hey,
yeah, exactly. And I got a road trip. Actually, the funny you brought that up too is that I got a road trip coming up here the 22nd of June. It sounds like I'm going to be riding Clint Westwood's bus on the way to Jersey and going and doing the Bitcoin Ben meetup and hooking up with Johnny Litecoin and all those people. And I'm going to be representing, Crypto Campfire and Knobs Token. So I think it'll be a big time, man. I'm stoked about it. I'm looking forward to it.
Bitcoin Ben is a really cool guy. I was lucky enough to meet him, I think, last year at the San Francisco Litecoin Summit when he was on stage. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Ken Bosak, but he's the crypto guy that's everywhere. And there was like a mascot dancing on stage, and at the end, he just popped out, which was hilarious. So it's always a good time. Always a good time at crypto summits. And I've really started to love crypto and like conferences because they're not what everyone thinks they are. It's a lot of just really smart people vibing off really great ideas together. And at first I thought, it's going to be a lot of like older guys who know more than me, and they're all going to be in suits, and I'm going to feel out of place. And you get there and everyone's in t-shirt and jeans, and they all kind of have the same vibe of just exploring the possibilities of what crypto can do for you. So it's a really cool scene. Like you said earlier, it's nice to meet the people in the crypto world online, but it's incredibly cool to vibe with them in person.
I don't know if I could handle all that brain power in one place. I just don't think I could. My mind would melt. It just really would. That'd be crazy.
You'd have a good time. Jay, your story is like exactly like my first experience at a crypto conference, which was Block Show last year. And I talk about it all the time, but it was just an amazing time. It was the same thing, like I wasn't sure what to expect. And I was like, is this going to be like a regular seminar? When
they asked me to be on a panel with other people, I was blown away because you think, who wants to listen to me? And then you're like, wait, I've had a YouTube show for 2 years and I've got, almost 4,000 subscribers on there, and it's been growing pretty steadily. And I guess somebody wants to hear what I say. Otherwise I'd still be at zero. Right.
There's that point where you realize that maybe, even if you don't think that what you're doing is special, you kind of realize that, there are some people out there that really love what you're doing and can value your opinion.
Oh, yeah. And absolutely at this early point, it's odd to say, but influencers through YouTube and these places, they 100% can move the market. And I didn't realize that until I did it by accident one time with the small coin. And was like, there's a lot of power here. I got to be a lot more careful with how I present what I say on camera, because You know, he's just saying, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do what I say. Doesn't mean people won't.
Right.
So
it doesn't take a whole lot of money to move a small coin. And so if you got 4,000 followers and half of them listen,
yeah,
then
yeah. And half of them put $10 in, that's quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, some of these low cap coins, you know, even $1,000 on a buy or sell order can make a huge difference, you know, on a real low cap coin. So
I mean, like my friends joked, gave me a hard time when I found Tron on Binance the very, very first time when it was about to come out as ICO, and it didn't really work out that way. Long story short, I ended up buying Tron at like a quarter of a penny, and everyone's like, "That's stupid. That coin's never going to be worth anything." Well, lo and behold, it's like 10, 16 cents, somewhere in that range. And I bought it a quarter of a penny, you know, like it was hard for my friends to be like, okay, so what's the next coin you're going to choose? But I digress.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, at 3 cents, I think it's a steal. So it's going to be, you're going to be sitting pretty here next year.
So early still. It's crazy.
Yeah. Exactly.
And even for shitty coins, we're still early for coins that don't even have a use case. They're still going to pump again.
Oh yeah. There's so many things to make money on here. It's just like, do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. You'll more than likely make money in crypto. That's pretty much what I've done the entire time. The market says to buy, I sell. Do the opposite. That's it. Simple.
It's kind of become the thing on Twitter, hasn't it? If CNBC says buy, sell that shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. This is true. It's CNBC is actually our biggest aid right now when it comes to trading. I mean, they just need to come on more often, and we'll get a little more movement in the market one way or another, right?
Just watching that bounce lately has been super fun too. It has been a nice little rise because I'm actually going to Spain at the end of the month, and so a nice little pump and cutting some of those for travel funds is a luxury that I'm very grateful to have.
How did you enjoy the bear market? How did you handle that?
That's how I ended up with the thrifting and the reselling of stuff, was because I am a very addictive sort of person. A lot of people that are in crypto, and I've spoken with many developers, they're on the same, we're all degenerate gamblers. And at the end of the day, it becomes an insane addiction to just keep looking and looking and looking. And I was checking my Blockfolio 30 times in an hour, you know, and it was just too much. So I erased my Blockfolio. I repositioned into the coins that I knew I was going to be happy with. And I just kind of did other things for a few months. And I would check every once in a while, but I couldn't be 100% engaged because it was such an addictive thing for me. And especially when you see the market collapsing, it's not really fun to still talk about the good things that you're doing, because it seems like you're gloating. So I just kind of became quiet online and just listened to people. And it was more of a time to just listen and see what people are doing, see who the fools are out there saying dumb things that are really just kind of them blowing up their own spot, let's say. But for the most part, I just stayed quiet and listened.
Yeah, it's probably about the time you met me. That's about when I came in, right? Yeah, no, I meant, oh yeah. That was a slam. I love it. We do nothing but have fun, so it's awesome.
Oh yeah.
How did you handle it, Mr. Professor?
The bear market? Oh, shit. You know, I kind of did some of the same stuff. I didn't necessarily go quiet per se, but I did change, you know, kind of the way I tweeted. If you look back, you can kind of see the evolution of my mindset throughout the crypto process. And when I first got here, it was December of 2017.
Okay.
And so the majority of my posts were like, oh my God, Tron is mooning.
Yeah.
Or, oh my God, XVG is mooning. Or, oh my God, whatever coin I'm looking at this moment is mooning, because fucking everything was mooning all the way up through January. And I could post TRX to the fucking moon, post a picture, a screenshot of Binance, and there was like 150 likes in minutes. 2 months after I started my Twitter account. That just shows you how many people had just arrived and they had no clue like I didn't. You know, we were all just excited together about what the hell, what is this? It's amazing. Keep going. And so then as the bear market happened, there was less of that stuff. And so my focus changed to a more intellectual standpoint on things rather than just like, oh my God, I'm making money. It's okay, cool. Now what can we build? And how can we make use of this cool thing for when the next time comes around? Mm-hmm. Like pretty much all of us did, that's why we're all here right now. So, I kind of did that as far as dealing with it goes. I had just finished school and graduated and got my job. So financially I got really lucky all kind of at once. Nice. And when I was flipping stuff, there was a point where I was basically broke, a month or two at a time. And then I'd have like 3 amazing months where like you'd sell everything or you'd get some really good trades or something. Right. And so you'd be okay, but it's not steady. So it was really nice to have that stability. And it was interesting to say the least. Yeah.
It definitely showed some true characters of certain people in the crypto market as well. You got to see a lot of just different sort of behaviors come out of people when they lose a lot of money really fast.
Oh yeah. The amount of people that just all of a sudden were like, did you get hacked or
right? Yeah.
Or did you lose your mind? I mean,
how are you so salty?
Some people that were, and then all of a sudden they just flipped and they were just totally backwards. And then a lot of people, hey, you had more time on your hands. You weren't sitting there watching charts all day. And so a lot of people dug up a lot of the scammers and there was a lot of that going around and trying to out those guys. And so it was kind of a wild period there, but we made it.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of just hung out in the shadows for, for a while in the beginning. I did. I started out on Twitter when I first got into crypto in January of 18. And, the market was kind of on its way down. I think when I got in, it was still up there. And, I was conservative as far as getting in. And I took my time coming into the market as far as with my finances. But, I got into this chat group that I'm in at Knobs Token, and I'm, a big part of that group right now. And, I focused on that. And then, I'd buy the dips along the way, watch the market, trying to learn trading. I think trying to learn how to trade, was probably the biggest challenge for me. And I think I took advantage of the bear market in the sense that I worked on building a network. I worked on building relationships with people because, I've always lived by this saying that, a wise man surrounds himself with smart people, and there's a whole lot of truth to that. If you think about it, you are what you surround yourself with. And, so I grasped onto that, and I just really enjoy people. And so, I focused on that. And then in December, I really got back into, I shouldn't say it back into, I really got into, being on Twitter, and I started really coming alive. And I just really enjoy the energy. I've been fortunate, and I've been able to, experience a lot of positivity and bring a lot of positivity. And I think that's just been my goal ever since I got focused on Twitter, was just to change the space, try to, stop the negative energy, because there was so much of it.
That's beautiful, man.
That's exactly why we're here right now.
That's right. Exactly. That's right. This is our positive movement. Our, the professor and I, we work well together, and it's crazy the energy that we feed off of each other. And, that's what makes this work. And the fact that we just want to have fun and keep it real,
That's the best.
It's all about meeting new people and having new experiences and new conversations and turning over some of those stories that maybe don't come out on Twitter in those 200 and whatever characters. So, and that's something that we all three kind of have in common, is wanting to meet new people and make those connections thing. Mitch and I, that's why we started this. And Jay, I know you and I talked one time long ago when Alan Gorin from Crypto Invest Summit did a really cool thing. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, I just remember he tweeted and said, "I'm going to go live right now. Who wants to join me for no particular reason?"
Yeah.
And I was sitting at work, and I was like, there wasn't really anybody else who had replied yet. And I was like, well, I mean, I could come on in 30 minutes. And then you had jumped in and somebody else did. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I went outside and connected, and it was like 4 or 5 of us talking.
I even remember the beauty of it. There was a guy from Africa in the group, like who was in Africa at the moment, and I'm in San Diego and he's in LA, and that was incredible.
Yep, it was cool. Such a cool thing for just like spur of the moment, spontaneous. I'm gonna live stream or start a live call and just join me and let's talk about whatever. It was something that I hadn't really thought about being a thing.
Yeah,
and it was cool. So, in fact, Mitch, I think we need to do that at some point.
I did that for a few of my episodes, and it was really cool. You never know who's going to come in. I had the Truth Raider. I don't know if you know him on Twitter, but he's got a really large following. He popped in, and he's very, or he wasn't the type at the time to show his face, so he went audio only. And the other person who popped in, I just threw an invite open on Twitter and said, "Yo, I'm live streaming an episode. Anyone come in?" And it was him and some mom. I don't remember her name. I think it was like Susan something. And it was the most amazing conversation because here we have a 60-year-old mom who has an incredible life experience to share, the Truth Raider who is a military person, and that's a whole different background to share, and then myself as the Californian whatever I am. And it was just a great chat of just 3 complete random people talking about something that we commonly love. So you guys should absolutely do it because you never know what might happen, and it's super fun.
And that's the beauty of Twitter, really. If you think about it, we are a big jumble of ethnicity. There is people from all over the frickin' world sharing the same dream, sharing the same goal. What else is there in the world that you have this same kind of unity when it comes to one specific topic?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Places.
There's no color boundaries. There's no religion boundaries. There's no, any kind of boundaries really, other than people just being ignorant.
A lot of the things I've experienced myself is actually the Twitter community really reaching out and helping other people. Like I had a young man in Venezuela through the network that was developed on Twitter get connected with me, and we just started a relationship, and he was telling me about how it was the horrible things going on there with inflation and whatnot, and how he was a single dad. His wife had passed away, and he was only about 32 years old, like a 6-year-old little girl, and he didn't have enough money to bake her a cake, but he was into crypto Twitter, and I didn't know if it was a real thing or not, and the dude just sent me all these pictures of him like holding dates in front of an empty refrigerator, and it was so simple to say, "Hey, Twitter, if you guys have some extra Tron, some extra Bitcoin, something you want to send to this guy, this is the circumstances." And I think within 24 hours, people had sent in enough for him to have like a week's worth of food. And that was such a random, like, I tweeted a few characters, help this guy, and bam, this guy now has food. You don't think of the power that a few characters, especially us in a first world privileged existence that we have, can actually help people all across the world. Like, it's incredible power.
It feels good.
It's insane.
That's awesome. That's a very cool story, man. I like that. That's awesome.
And it wouldn't be possible without crypto. I mean, if you think about it,
no, right? Absolutely not.
By the time you send money over, a dollar can make a huge difference. But how much does it cost you to send $1 through a traditional method?
Right. The remittance fees are crazy.
Yeah. So in the fact that anybody could send even half a cent worth of Tron, you could send somebody 10 cents, you could send somebody 20 cents. And if 100 people do that, maybe that's enough for them to put food on the table for that day, So it's crazy that those little microtransactions can happen that just weren't even possible before.
Yeah.
So, even if crypto goes nowhere, that function will always exist. Even if the value of Bitcoin is $10 per coin, you just send more Bitcoins, but that function still exists.
I personally realized just about a week and a half ago that crypto is here permanently to stay online, purely because the people with the Tron network have created a way to play poker and blackjack and roulette with Tron. And that just blew my mind because all of a sudden Poker Stars, those sorts of things that I was addicted to ages ago are no longer important. And I can play poker online in my house. That's freaking amazing. And that alone made me realize that addiction and gambling and those right there will keep that system going for a very long time, even if no one else uses it for anything else.
Exactly. It's entertainment if nothing else, right?
It's fun. It really is. Like, at the end of the day, crypto is an investment, but it's fun because you really are making an impact in the world at the same time.
Exactly.
For real. I mean, this is changing things in so many ways, not just on the financial, standpoint. So it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I mean, you're pretty active, I take it, then on Twitter. So, what have you seen the passing of the torch?
No, I haven't been super engaged with following people because there's like 4 people that I'm on everything they do. And besides that, I really I try to keep all the white noise out of my head because otherwise I end up trading with other people's gut and not my own.
Oh yeah, I don't even get into the trading talk. I'm just talking, we have a challenge out there, and it's called the adoption challenge. And so what the professor did the other day was kind of say, hey, if you guys go out there and videotape yourselves spreading adoption, that's the challenge. Kind of like the ice bucket challenge, right? You videotape yourself or a friend, showing crypto to somebody or trying to show a business that they can accept cryptocurrencies for payment, and put that out there on Twitter and then pass the torch to the next guy to do the same thing. I thought that was just so cool and symbolic of unity and bringing this shit out there. It's just kick ass. I love it. So I was curious if you had seen it at all and wanted your opinion on it. But by all means, since you don't have an opinion, take a look, man. I know it might seem like white noise, but it might not, so it's worth a look. I think I think everybody in the space, everybody in crypto has a responsibility in one form or another to help spread the adoption of it.
I absolutely will. That sounds like a good use of my time.
Yeah, Johnny Litecoin already accepted the challenge and went out and posted his video today. So thanks, Johnny, for getting your part of it done.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he nominated Lord Zog, who is currently working on getting a vape company set up with crypto payments as a result. So it's already making moves. So it's super cool to see it actually start doing stuff.
Right, rather quickly. Kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, one day later.
Yeah, right? That was awesome. That's awesome.
So Jay, why don't you talk to us about Chloe? I'm a dog guy myself. Mitch likes dogs.
Man. So I am lucky enough that I have a 14-year-old Staffy who I was lucky enough to find when she was 6 weeks old. And it was literally love at first sight. It was the most amazing thing. And 14 years later, she's still going strong. We're going gray together, as I like to joke, because she's got a gray beard and my beard is turning gray too now. So,
it's crypto's fault.
Yeah. Oh man, so much of it probably. But back to the whole thing of crypto is I think a lot of people realize that the opportunity that crypto will give you is time to spend with your dog that you love, or go on an extra long trip or like a road trip like you guys are saying or whatever. And I think the last 2 years have been incredibly cool because I've got to spend so much more time with my dog. She was an apartment dog my whole life because I was bartending in college and all this, and now that she's in the wonder years, and according to the vet, I'm in bonus time right now. So I'm just enjoying as much as I can of her around. And I'll tell you right now, I'm never going to have another dog after this because it's, when they get to 14 and every time you look at them and she sleeps so deeply and I like shake her like, Chloe, are you alive? Oh, okay, you're alive. Woo!
They have like a mini heart attack every day.
Oh,
it's
5
tough.
times a day. Yeah.
It's tough.
When I have kids,
well, it's so awesome to hear that you found a way to spend more time with what matters to you and not be slaving away at an office or something. That's awesome.
Yes, I think that's very awesome.
Thank you, guys. I want to say the hardest part is being able to enjoy that time, but the people in your life still having to go to work, because when they go to work at 7 and they come home at 5, and I'm just sitting there like happy and like, hi. And they're like, what's wrong with you? Why are you so happy? I'm like, well, because I didn't have people yelling at me today.
Oh, man. That was the best part about doing the buying and selling thing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was stressful at times for sure, but not having to deal with that and not having to leave all day. I mean, just being able to be home with my kids and my wife and just all day, even if I'm working, at least I'm there.
Right.
And that was so cool. And I miss that. But, yeah, crypto is giving us such a cool opportunities and opening so many doors for so many people that would have never even gotten close to those doors before. So,
oh yeah.
I mean, especially with Twitter, you can connect with anybody at any minute. It's amazing.
I was lucky enough to tweet out at Gary Vaynerchuk the other day about one of my flips that I did, and he reposted it like 30 seconds later. And all of a sudden, I'm talking with one of my guys who I idolize, and you're like, oh, holy shit, now my post is on his page on Twitter, and that's incredibly cool to me. So, it is
very cool. It is. It's funny the people that we find, that much value in, and when they actually take the time to reciprocate, you're like just overwhelmed. You're like blown away. Wow, this is so cool. And that's neat that the people that are way up there don't forget where they came from.
Right.
You know what's even more cool?
What?
This podcast right now.
Yes, absolutely. But when you're reaching out to somebody that you'd like to be on the podcast because you have an interest in them, and you meet somebody else in the process who is equally, if not more epic than that person.
Mm-hmm.
Like when we reached out to Celsius Network because we wanted to get Alex Mashinsky on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I ended up having a conversation with their community manager, Rafi. And God damn, does he have some cool stories.
There's just something about us community managers. I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's got to be you and him, man. But, so I'm sitting here hoping to get Alex on the podcast. And then I ended up talking to him. And I'm sorry, Alex, but Rafi's a pretty cool guy. So we're going to have Rafi on the podcast first.
Oh, he got bumped.
He got bumped. Yeah.
He got bumped. What can I say?
Consider it a challenge.
Too cool of a community manager.
He'll have an opportunity to listen to Ralphie and see if he can do a better job. That's all.
I don't know if he can. I had a 5-minute conversation with him on Sunday, and it was amazing. Just in that 5 minutes, there were stories of flying fighter jets and shit. So it's going to be an epic podcast, but it's.
Is it like talking to the guy that drinks Dos Equis?
It's probably like twice as cool. Pretty close.
Oh, damn.
But yeah, Jay, like you said earlier, just the ability, like you were talking, to immediately be connected with people all over the world without even having to try. He's in Tel Aviv, and out of nowhere, here we are talking. It's like, it's the beautiful thing of this space.
It's unreal. Just say hello to someone and something cool will happen. You never know.
Exactly. You never know. Never know. Just got to ask.
Heck yeah. And it's because the thing that I love most about Twitter is that since we're all on the same wavelength, we all understand each other. You talk to your friends or you talk to your family members about crypto and they look at you cross-eyed, mm-hmm. or like you're some zealot, or you're obsessed with something. Yeah, whatever. You go do your thing. It's kind of like, okay, buddy, go play in the corner. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
And the reality is when I talk to people on Twitter, it's like we all get it. And I think that's one of the addictive parts of it is everybody gets each other, when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and where we're going with it is just awesome.
I think that's the most exciting part is what you just said lastly there, is that where we're going with it is that crypto Twitter, it kind of has an agenda of where they're going in the future, and it's this better financial place where money can kind of cross the world digitally in seconds. And that is something incredible that we're all kind of working towards this beautiful goal without all fully knowing that that's the goal, but also kind of knowing that that's what we're doing. And every time we bring someone in, like you guys said through that challenge, you're adding a new mind working towards this goal progressively together. And you're just going to end up with a beautiful situation at the end. It's something I look forward to, let's say 10 years from now, to see how the world really, really looks when it's a Bitcoin friendly crypto payment. There's no more plastic debit cards. That's going to be a really cool world. And I think it's just around the corner. So I look forward to it.
We're just unifying the whole world. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and I think with the whole unity thing and the whole, you know, around the corner, like you just said, that last part, look at how fast technology evolves every year. And if you think of the exponential factors in which we've moved forward over the last 20 years, do you really think it's going to take that long?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. I worked at Apple for like, I don't know, 5 years or so. And the amount of dumb questions that people couldn't get, just like simple things, is
because they overthink it.
No, because a lot of people don't want to learn, is what it comes down to. They want it to be done for them, or they want it to just happen, right? So until it just happens or
True.
It's done for them, people aren't going to seek out learning something new. They're not going to learn how to download a Bitcoin wallet until it's just they buy an iPhone and it has a Bitcoin wallet in it. And now I can send
But where did
money
this
out.
come from? Where did this come from, Jay? Why are we here? I'm almost 50 years old, and I've had to do, growing up, I had to do everything by hand. And
Right.
you're right, today's society is a now society, but why did we get this way? Are we just that fucking lazy? Excuse me?
No,
I'm
no,
sorry
no.
to, you know,
We're
are we? Is that what it is? Or
We're that blessed and we're that arrogant at the same time. You see, we
Okay.
have all these amazing tools in front of us, but we take them all for granted. Like the fact that I literally was sitting here the other day telling my girlfriend how blown away I was by my iPhone in my pocket. And she's like, yeah, okay, whatever, dude. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like when I was a kid, I dreamt of being able to walk outside and just talk to anyone and do all these things. And now I have this thing in my pocket that can do it. And every time I learn something new, it opens a new ability, right? But there's other people out there that I've spoken to that are like, yeah, I just want to be able to call these 5 people that I know. I want to get to the end of my day. I want to go to my job. And that's plenty for them. And that's okay. But that's why the crypto Twitter community is so powerful, because we're that like-minded community right there and will engage. And eventually that bubble will get bigger and bigger because people are like, oh, what's going on over there? Why does Jason have so much free time? Maybe I should figure out what he's doing, you know? And then those conversations happen. Like my aunt, who only listens to the Catholic radio channel, the other day came up to me and said, Jason, they were talking about Bitcoin on the Catholic radio channel, and I want you to buy $500 of Bitcoin for me. And I was like, oh my God, can I show you how to do it? And she's like, no, just buy it for me. Hold on to it. And when it's more, give me money. And I'm like, okay, that's my point, is there's certain people that just want it done for them. And that's always going to be the case. So in time, when there's a new generation, right? Like that's all they do. It'll be built into life. All of a sudden, like I said, I'll have a device that has the wallet in it. I don't have to think. When it becomes that, then it'll be everywhere. But till then, it's going to just be the wants versus the like, I don't care sort of people.
Definitely. That's why I always talk about that layer of abstraction over these tools that we have, that's going to be required before any type of mass adoption really happens. You know, because like you're saying, that's just going to be built in. Yeah. And at that point, it's probably not even going to be called a wallet. You know, It's going to be whatever your payment app is on your phone. It's just going to be powered by blockchain. You know, it's going to be PayPal, quote unquote, but run by the blockchain.
Pay,
so,
or Nike Pay, or
right.
Kmart
it's going to be something like that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kmart, Amazon, all that, Amazon's going to buy Walmart, and that's how that's going to go. So we can talk about that conspiracy theory another day.
And then Jeff Bezos is going to move it to the moon.
Yes. Sadly enough, now that you mention it, that's probably not too far out of the question.
And Tesla's going to get us there.
Yeah, Tesla and Amazon are going to partner up and buy Walmart and then put it on the moon.
It's going to be a crazy future, guys.
God, what did we just start?
I don't know, but I guess we have to get Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk on the podcast now together. So
yeah, exactly.
That's an epic goal.
That's going to happen.
Epic goal.
Epic. I guess we'll work on that.
Oh man.
Anonymity. What is your thought on anonymity? How do we, wanting to spread adoption like I do, wanting to be vocal, excuse me, about cryptocurrencies, how do we overcome the potential danger, being that advocate for cryptocurrency when it comes to hiding your identity?
Yeah.
I hate the fact that we have to do that simply out of fear from whatever negative repercussions there may be. But at the same time, I'm not going to hide my head in the sand and just wait until everything happens. I want to be a part of this change. I want to be a driving force of it. And in order to do that, how do we overcome the anonymity issue?
That's a really rough question. I mean, that's part of why I went dark for a while on YouTube was kind of the realization all of a sudden. It was literally the day that I felt like I moved the market a little bit by accident. And I was like, oh, I got to get offline because like now I feel kind of weird about this. And all of a sudden my mom was like, hey, people like they know your name. And I'm like, oh, I didn't really put that together because, Jay Sweeps obviously isn't my real name, but it is an interesting and scary thing that you have to be so concerned with. But at the same time, like life's too short to just bury your head in the sand and look up every once in a while. Like I want to be in it, and if there's a price to pay to be in it, then that's okay with me because eventually there'll be people who get to just enjoy it, and there's always got to be a few people at the beginning who kind of ride out the bumpiness until there's a smooth path for others. And I think that's what a lot of people on Twitter and crypto Twitter and YouTube Twitter, like Omar Bam and like these dudes who are on all the time, and they get a lot of interesting messages sent to them, I'll tell you that. And I've gotten some weird ones myself, but you take it with a grain of salt and you really just know that what you're doing is for the greater good. Like I want to do what you said and spread the message of cryptocurrencies and what that looks like in terms of opportunity and technology opportunities that are right in front of me. And being someone who was born with a computer in his hand, it feels like I really have spent so much time reading about this that I really think Bitcoin is like, it's the only one that makes sense going forward. It's going to be mass adopted and it's going to be how Coca-Cola dominates sodas. It's going to be that. It's going to be the Starbucks of coffees. Like it's going to be the name branded coin. That's it. Because we all just want trends. And once that happens, it's over. But, for the anonymity thing, man, I'm just hoping there's more good people out there in the world than there's bad. That's it.
That's all you can do, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with it. That's kind of where I'm at with it because I'm not going to stop. I'll keep going.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the ability to be a voice that people actually care to listen to, and try to keep that voice within sound reason, and just spread the word, man. I haven't been this passionate about anything other than my career, I should say, in my life. I've been fortunate and blessed to have a career that I was given the talents to be able to succeed in. And
Nice.
I'm one hell of a carpenter, but now I'm like, that body, that shell is getting old. So it's time to move on to something else. And I found something that I haven't felt this much energy and this much passion for anything in years.
That's
So,
incredible,
yeah, I feel blessed to be here, and having the professor on my side and at my shoulder, man, that's cool. That's cool. I dig it, and I'm really glad you came on the show.
Thank you guys for having me. I really think it's amazing how you can connect with someone on Twitter through a few characters and all of a sudden have a true connection and develop a friendship, like you said, what you're doing with the professor. And I've done with so many people on crypto Twitter. I thank you guys for having me on. It's been fun to chat.
Absolutely.
It's been awesome having you on, man. Before we go, we got to ask you, what's your dark horse token? The token that you may not want to admit that you bought it, or that people, the majority, don't believe in it, but you're just confident that someday it's gonna do wonders for you. You can't say Tron. That's the easy answer for you.
No, it's rough because I had Dent Coin as that for the longest time. Dent Coin was a coin that I really, really believed in. It was a really cool project, and I just rode it all the way to the bottom. It was just something that was so painful because I believed in it and I believed in it. And it was a case of so much information coming out over time that was kind of misleading, and them releasing more coins and whatnot. So I kind of let that one die completely. And the coin that I'm 100% in on and have been since day one is Cardano.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's a good one.
That is a coin
Definitely.
that I bought it pretty much the first week that it was on the market. And I have the exact same position that I bought day one. And I will hold it probably for as long as it takes, because I really think there's some cool things ahead in that project.
They don't ever quit. Tell you that much.
They have so many brilliant minds. It's hard to not think that something good will come of it.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of those in this space. It's crazy. I didn't know there was this many smart people in the world. I'm serious. It's insane.
You gotta wait through all the bullshit to find it, though.
Well, yeah, that's okay though, because when you find those gems, it's like, wow, where'd you guys go to school? How'd you do that? Oh wait, I can build that, but oh my god, how'd you figure that out? Crazy shit.
It's a magical time that we have in front of us, guys.
It is.
It absolutely is.
I really hope you come back on the show, man. I look forward to continuing the saga with the professor and myself. I look forward to us being successful in this and continuing to have awesome guests like you on the show and be able to just talk real crypto and talk real people, because
yeah, I appreciate that. I'll have to have you guys come on my show at some point soon too, and
that would be an honor.
Continue the journey and continue the conversation.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to it. Definitely excited for part 2. Extra excited for the fishing trip. That can't happen soon enough.
Oh yeah, let's make that happen for sure.
It's been a good time.
I gotta eat some fish for dinner.
Eat an extra one for me, buddy.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, guys.
You too, man.
All right,
It's good
Jay.
having you on the show.
Have a good night.
We'll talk to you later.
Peace.
Well, I had a good time talking with Jay tonight. Super excited for the next round. And man, that fishing trip, are you ready?
Oh my god, dude, I am so ready. I would go. I would leave tomorrow if I could do it. I would leave tomorrow. There's no question. Could you imagine?
Shit. If I could, I'd be on that plane right now. I would
doing a live broadcast.
Okay, that's a lie. I'm not going to walk to California, but
yeah, right.
A live broadcast from the boat.
Yeah, that would be sweet. That'd be sick.
Sounds like we need to do it.
Do a campfire broadcast from the boat. That would be sick.
Perfect.
So yeah, it was really cool having him on the show. I like the fact that we get down to earth people like him, and we could just talk crypto and talk experiences. And, that's what it's all about. It's about our life experiences. It's about the journey. And to me, it's not about the money. I mean, having the money would be nice, but the journey is so much more fun. But I guess one makes the other possible, right?
I guess that's true. A little bit of money can make your journey go a lot longer, a lot further.
Right? Exactly. So
crypto is good at that. So we've got a lot of opportunity ahead of us. This is definitely the best experience that I've ever had, starting this podcast and even further back than that, just journeying through the crypto space from the very beginning has been absolutely phenomenal. And I certainly wouldn't trade it for anything. It's just opened me up to a whole new world of things, experiences and people, and even new technologies. Even though I'm a tech guy, there's just new things left and right every day. And it's fascinating and it's amazing just trying to keep up with it. It's a good time.
Absolutely, it's a good time. I concur 100%. I mean, and I already said it in the podcast. I really don't need to say it again, but my passion is just so deep. I'm on cloud. I'm in the stratosphere, man. You know, and so guys, we really appreciate you showing up tonight, listening to the podcast. We enjoy doing these. We see a lot of positive feedback, guys. Is there anything we're lacking? Is there anything you guys want to see? How about suggestions? You guys want us to talk about anything specific? Or you just like the way the show's rolling, man? It doesn't matter to us either way. This is all about you. So let us know, how we're doing. Just keep us up to breast on that. And it'll help us to be more certain that this is what you guys want to hear other than just the views. So, keep that in mind. And I can't forget the rap battles. We've had a lot of new people show up lately this week, and I think the rap battles are going to have a few more members on it. And one in particular that just comes to mind is Poker Brat. She made it a point to say, "Oh my God, I want to be at those rap battles because this is my thing." So Poker Brat, I'm putting a call out on you, girl. This is on you. You better be there Friday, starting at 6.
Johnny Litecoin too. He said he would.
Absolutely.
He said he might not be very good, but he said he'd do it. Johnny, you're on the spot.
So we got 2 call outs tonight for the rap battles. And life is good, man. Let's see what the market does.
Oh, yes. And we definitely have to do what CoinStories suggested and just do a random, spontaneous live broadcast, probably an audio only thing so that anybody can join without having to worry about where they're at or what they look like. Just stay on the lookout for that. We'll post it at one point in time randomly in the future on Twitter. And we'll open up a live call basically, and anybody can join and talk to us, and we'll post it as an episode. So
that would be sweet. It's
going to be awesome. Be on the lookout for that. I'm excited for it.
Heck yeah. Maybe we'll just give you an hour notice or something, or sometime in the days, just throw a tweet out there saying, "Hey, at such and such a time, we're going to do this and go live." So that would be cool.
There'll be a little advance notice, and it'll be interesting to see who shows up and from how far around the world it reaches. Like Jay said, when we were on that call, there was people from all over the world just out of nowhere talking to each other. And so, it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
Exactly. I'm stoked about it. So on that note, guys, thanks for joining. You guys have a great evening. Remember, this is all about you, man. And we appreciate you being here. You guys have a great evening, and I look forward to seeing y'all on Friday nights. Have a great one.
Take it easy.
Peace.